Hey guys, it's Kenny Holmes from Score the Podcast. Here's a little bonus clip from our conversation with Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein about their influences in film scoring and also some of their inspirations for the music of Stranger Things.
The first time I saw Stranger Things, I actually thought of another film score, and I asked Matt if he would find it. I wondered if the score to the movie Risky Business gets mentioned to you, or Tangerine Dream. There was a kind of, there was a minute in the 80s where synthy electronic stuff was suddenly very brand new.
Yeah.
Tangerine Dream, Giorgio Moroder.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's good. No, and it's funny.
Moving on.
I
Love on a Real Train, right?
Yeah, that's Love on a Real.
nice.
No.
Yeah, and so it just, your music, it's very different, but it also evoked a throwback to the 80s and that period. And
Who are some of your influences,
Yeah.
or do you is this strictly off of Survive, or do you watch other things and try to mold some ideas off of other composers?
Of course. I mean,
Tangerine Dream, obviously, is an influence, but
there's so many influences that it would take. I wouldn't even be able to.
I guess
list
the
them
question
all.
would be, are some of the traditional Hollywood composers, we mentioned John Powell earlier, and they're the Hans Zimmer and Danny Elfman and some of these kind of massive,
Who you guys, I'm sure, grew up listening to on movies.
It would
and
be-
consuming.
John Williams.
It would be a lie to say that I hadn't heard those and they hadn't influenced me in some way, but I don't consider those to be the primary sources of inspiration for me personally. I respect all of them and all their work, but I'm just coming from a different place. and
Yeah.
that's
You guys have worked. It probably never struck you that your music could be paired with visuals, and that would kind of become something new. But did that surprise you at all? I mean, we're kind of going back to the when you first see your music paired with something, an inspiration kind of image kind of thing. Were you guys surprised to see the music becoming something a little bit different, or did it feel largely the same to you?
Well, I'll say two things about that. Firstly, we kind of always imagined our music to picture.
Oh,
But like when we're working on music, a lot of times we will describe a part of a song as a scene. I don't know.
we'll be like,
this
you
is
think
when
this
the
is when
this
this would
is when
happen.
the helicopter flies over the waterfall. And,
Oh, really?
And everything's burning. So we really need it to feel like that, and that for Survive stuff, right? And then secondly, I think that once we started seeing our music to picture, we realized that a lot of the moments that we thought would work in those types of scenes didn't actually work. And what we needed to do was something completely different and out of the realm of what we would do for Survive.
that's interesting.
Did you ever score anything, like for friends' films or something? Because most of your music, or as much as I've heard, is instrumental. So it's almost perfect to be, put onto a film or a something shot.
We hadn't actually scored anything. I think Michael wrote some music for a friend.
I scored a short in college when I was in audio engineering school.
And we've had a few
It wasn't-
friends use our music from our albums in their movies and things as a score, but we didn't actually.
Oh yeah, our
Do
whole
any
first
wo- literally
LP is
our-
just the score to a movie.
Yeah,
What is that called?
it's called Blade Roller.
Blade Roller.
Nice.
Yeah.
Local Austin dude.
Yeah, it's a very interesting movie. You should.
Is that
Check
what
out-
inspired Blade Runner?
I think
Very
so.
much.
Yeah, but it's basically a one long music video for our whole first album.
Your music has taken off like crazy because of Stranger Things, and now there's a lot more people that are interested in that. There's lots of new shows that are kind of, for lack of a better word, knocking off part of that kind of sound for different things. Has your operation scaled up because your sound, there's more attention to it? Like, do you have a team that you work with now as you're trying to accomplish everything, get everything done that maybe wasn't there for the first season?
We had an assistant on the second season, which we didn't have.
Right
at first.
on.
So there
Good.
was, incrementally we're scaling up, And for some of the stuff that we've got coming up, we're working with other people as well. So, yes, I mean, we're not like bleeding fingers or anything, but
Sure.
I've heard
We've got
I've
a
heard
couple
people tell
people.
me, just some other friends that work in music, that they've gotten some gigs to do some commercial work. That they're looking for synth music, and I think it brought people attention to the fact that you could use that type of score over different platforms or type of shows.
Nice.
Has
For
the pressure
sure, yeah.
changed for you at all? The first season was kind of like, this is coming out, no one knows about it, but now that the new one, there's an expected date and everything. Are you guys feeling it a little more?
I don't feel any pressure about like writing the music or anything and not having it be good. No, I don't feel pressure on
Yeah,
that. The pressure
I mean-
that I feel is like deadlines, and as we get busy and take on other projects, that's just like,
We definitely know
Yeah.
what the sound of Stranger Things is, and we're just gonna keep writing music in that vein and just evolve it if the show
So
requires.
season 3, you're not going to go completely left and like
Well,
play.
no.
Are we? Are we about to?
I don't know.
Everybody, stay tuned.
I guess
We're about
we'll
to. Here comes the bombshell. You're going all thumb piano.
That would be great.
that would be
It's
awesome.
all
That'd be
Celine
kinda
Dion.
cool.
Yeah.
Mbura. I love
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
It's funny when you were saying about how people didn't know who you were when
I
you got
actually
the gig.
no, there is thumb piano on this. I swear.
Is there really?
I'm not
I
even
love-
joking.
That's good.
There is. It's not. It's very.
Kalimba.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a broken one, and it doesn't sound
probably even better.
doesn't sound much like it did before it got
You
all
couldn't
the
name the
processing.
chords.
But
I'm about to get crushed, I'm sure, because I blew it. But
For those who
I
don't
think the
know,
most
on our
important-
social media, Robert tried to name some chords that Michael was playing a little bit earlier, and we'll find out.
We'll find out if I was even close. So
I'm sure we're going to
It's
find
on
out
at
in a
Score the
major way.
Podcast.
yes,
on
or
our
in a
Twitter
minor
page.
way, or in a major seventh way.
Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast platform. And thanks for telling a friend about the show and helping us continue to grow.